Hey guys, welcome to Dial H for Heroclix. It's Kalder. Today we're going to be looking at the Wheels of Vengeance play-at-home kits. One is a retailer exclusive, the Ghost Rider play-at-home kit. The other is the online exclusive Werewolf by Night play-at-home kit. Now, besides just looking at the contents, we're going to be comparing the two to figure out which one is the best bang for your buck and which play-at-home kit you should get. Now, of course, you can definitely buy both, and I'm not telling you not to, but we just want to compare the two and see which play-at-home kit should be in your home. Us off in comparisons is going to be the terrain markers. Now, the Werewolf by Night terrain markers on the left, they are the grave terrain markers. I absolutely adore these. There are 3 designs and all are just multiple different ways of gravestones, and they look really cool. I actually super enjoy all of these designs. I love that, of course, it has all the combat values printed on these so you can reference the markers. I will say the markers overall are a bit odd. They are just slightly smaller than a Heroclix space, which makes them kind of difficult to see. But I love the grave markers. I love the different art, and I love they have the stats printed on them. And I think now that we get into the Ghost Rider set smoke markers, I think they get the job done, but I don't think they're anything too crazy impressive. The smoke markers are very, very simple. There's a few different flame effects on each one. They also use different pieces of art, but overall, I'm not as impressed by the smoke markers as I am the grave markers. So I think point goes to Werewolf by Night. 2 for the play-at-home kits, we have the legacy cards. The Werewolf by Night legacy card is the Avengers Assemble Chase Iron Man, so this does make it a little bit harder to get as it is an old chase. But typically before it was announced as a legacy card, it was retailing for around $10 or so. That's obviously not the case anymore since being a legacy card bumps the price up. I will say this edition and all the changes they pretty much make to this Iron Man make it 1,000 times better. That may or may not be accurate, but he is a lot better. The changes they made to reducing penetrating damage, giving traded impervious, and all the special abilities actually do make him a lot more playable of a piece than he used to. So this one aged very, very well. And you can probably thank Daniel Powell. He won this as part of the Heroclix for Huntington's prize. So he chose this Iron Man to get a legacy card. It's a really good sculpt Iron Man, and I do think it was given a dial that is really fun. On the other hand, and maybe with a little bit of bias, we have the Ghost Rider. Now, I actually own this Ghost Rider. It's also just an iconic pick for a legacy card. It chose a character that truly has a legacy. This Ghost Rider was a menace in the meta when he came out, and some rules have changed to make him not as good at the time, but giving him the Bat Belt, the Heroes for Hire ATA, and a few other shenanigans made this Ghost Rider just amazing. Now, sadly, this legacy card, although it cuts off a huge chunk of his point value, I mean, it makes him 65 points cheaper, and probably makes him more playable than what his dial would be, it doesn't capture how effective he was at his peak in the meta. And I get it, it's a legacy card for this figure, it's not a legacy card for the ATA or for the Bat Belt, but it really was those things combined that made this figure such a menace. And I would have liked to see more of that translated into the legacy card's abilities. Now, Rider for Hire is definitely a reference to that ability, but again, it's the errated version of the ATA. It's the only free once per game make an attack, which is a bit sad to see when even the Legacy Empire Captain America could just free make a close attack every single turn. So I would have liked to see something more along those lines with this Ghost Rider. And then if you want to check out this Iron Man, you can go ahead and pause. But overall, I think it's a tough matchup. I would say failing to capture the essence of who the figure was, we might have to give it to Werewolf by Night again on this legacy card. But I think this is a closer draw. I do think this figure, this character, has more of a legacy than this Iron Man, but I would say overall, for powers and abilities, this Iron Man is better than this Ghost Rider. Kicking us off with maps, we have the Ghost Rider Play at Home kit. This is the Blitzkrieg Manhattan map. I think it's very solid. It does, however, have a lot of blocking, which instantly makes it a 2-square smaller map, so kind of do with that what you will. It does have some great and iconic comic book art throughout the Fear Itself storyline on the sides here, playing on these TV screens, which is really cool. And it's a fairly simple open outdoor map with just a little bit of hindering terrain and some blocking terrain. But overall, I think it is a very aesthetically pleasing map and it looks really cool. On the flip side, and I think Ghost Rider's set gets bonus points for this, we have the Dark Dimension map. Now, this map was instantly not legal, like not playable for modern play when it came out because it had some really broken orange text, I believe, at least I think I'm remembering that right. So it's kind of cool to be able to play a chunk of this map legally for the first time ever, which is really cool. We have some floating asteroids, we have some space. It's just a really fun map. It can lead to some interesting positioning, choosing maybe this side or that side, although I think most people are going to be choosing these two sides. Overall, I like the Ghost Rider picks for maps. I think they're very fun. Let's go ahead and jump into the Werewolf by Night maps. The first Werewolf by Night map is Doctor Strange Mansion. The Sanctum Sanctorum gets made. I think it's a very pretty map, actually. I really enjoy it. I like all the runes and pieces of paper and laid out things where Doctor Strange is doing his stuff, doing whatever he's doing, as well as the foyer, the entrance to get up into the main mansion room with these couple of pillars. I think this is a more interesting map. I think choosing either side is cool. If you want to start on lower elevation and then go up to elevation 2, it's not as bad to start on elevation 1 on this map since it's pretty close to your side as opposed to being in the middle and feeling at a disadvantage for being at elevation 1, as well as starting on either of these sides I think would be totally fine. It's got some fun hindering, no big clumps of it, and a lot of spatters of blocking terrain, which I really like to see on a map. Now, the reverse side. And man, do I absolutely love the reverse side. This is again from Fear Itself, and allow me to add a couple of figures that I think are quite fitting here. But Fear Itself was a storyline that I absolutely loved, and this is, to me, the absolute most iconic moment in that entire storyline. This is Bronxton, Oklahoma, or Bronxton, OK, outdoor, as the map is called. We have some highline poles, some electrical cable going here. We have some old dead warbots as blocking terrain. We have a couple of vehicles as hindering, and of course, we have the line in the main pavement road here, where Captain America is standing alone against the forces of Asgardian trolls, Nazi warbots, and all these other evil things that Cole Borson, this guy, is bringing to Bronxton, Oklahoma before he eventually turns into the Serpent. So I love this map because it's a great moment in comics. It's a pretty fun map. It's mostly open since it is an outdoor map with some spattering of blocking, a little more random places of blocking and hindering terrain. No elevated, doesn't make it a super interesting map, but I think as far as map choices go, this is easily my favorite. I never got to play on this map enough, and this one feels more tight and close quarters, just like how that final fight was in Fear Itself. I personally think the map choices go to the Werewolf by Night Play at Home kit. I think these are overall better maps to choose, and I think they're really, really cool, at least for me. So I would say point Werewolf by Night. Now to the meat and potatoes itself, the main figures you're pretty much buying these play-at-home kits for. The Werewolf by Night figure has some really cool abilities, and I like that he switches between dials just as a free action, as long as having some great mystics and ways to heal multiple stop clicks, which can really give him 2 stop clicks, plus the KOing a grave marker to bring him back to life on his blue click 4 is a pretty amazing ability. I like the healing, I like the shape change, I like the toughness. I love the dials between a Jack Russell and then a full-on Werewolf by Night dial. Overall, it's really thematic. I really enjoy it, but it's not quite there. I do really like it, but for a play-at-home piece, I would have liked to see something a little bit more than just a 75-point figure, although I will say he is incredible for the points, and I think he will be a ton of fun to play and give your opponent a headache trying to KO this Werewolf by Night. And as much as I absolutely love the Werewolf by Night figure and how amazing he is, the sculpt is still a pretty simple, common sculpt for the set. So there's nothing too crazy or spectacular going on, although it's pretty solid, and I think Jack Russell tried his best. The namesake of the set, Ghost Rider, has an incredible dial. He is giving the 200-point fanboy treatment, which not only has the classic multiple stop clicks, but has incredibly cool powers and stats. So 11 clicks of life, mystics, and a plethora of keywords, plus the team player ability lets you know that he's been on a ton of different teams. He uses his smoke terrain in 2 different abilities, both his trait and his attack power utilize it very well, as well as having traded steel energy and willpower means Ghost Rider just keeps going, as well as a ton of regeneration. I absolutely love this dial. I think it is amazing, and I think that if you don't get the main set Ghost Rider, who's a super rare and going to be expensive, then a quick $20 play-at-home kit Ghost Rider gets you a super iconic version of Johnny Blaze, and I couldn't be happier with a figure to get a play-at-home kit. This is seriously one of the strongest play-at-home kit figures I've seen in a while, and insanely fitting for this character. And I absolutely love this Ghost Rider. I think it's one of the coolest sculpts for a figure to have, even though it is also just a common sculpt. I do think you get a little more bang for your buck. And of course, the amazing effect of the glow-in-the-dark dial. Man, that is seriously so freaking cool. All right, guys, that was quite the battle. Which play-at-home kit is your favorite? Is it the Werewolf by Night? Personally, this one's a really close winner. I love the map. I really enjoy it. I like the tiles a lot. I think those are its strongest points. I think where it's weak is the Legacy card pick, the Legacy figure, and then the Werewolf by Night dial, even though that's still a fun dial itself. Because on this one, although I don't like the map as much, it's still really strong. I absolutely love this Ghost Rider, and I think if you can't get the super rare Ghost Rider in this set, this play-at-home kit is your Johnny Blaze to have, and I absolutely love it. As well as bringing back the old Amazing Spider-Man Ghost Rider is incredible. Even if the dial and the abilities don't live up to the legend that was the old Ghost Rider, it's still super fun to have this back in Modern. It's almost a full tie game, but I think the Ghost Rider one takes it for me personally, even though I like the map and tokens better in the Werewolf by Night play-at-home kit. But you guys let me know in the comment section below, which play-at-home kit is your favorite? Is it Werewolf by Night? Is it Ghost Rider? Are you getting both? I obviously got both. It was a hard decision, but you know, why not both? Hey, you know? So, and then also let me know, if you comment below, what play-at-home kits do you want to see WizKids make in the future? Heck, design your own even. What map would you reprint? What figure would you give a legacy card? And then who would be the set's character to represent and be the main figure in the play-at-home kit? Let me know in the comments section below. And like always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Dial H for Heroclix for all the most updated news and beautiful content and hilarious skits that we have on this channel. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, happy trails.